There you go, Nick. You got some
We
animals to
have
keep you
one
warm.
cat, 2 dogs, Evie. I don't need any more. And I've got 2 kids, so a whole zoo at our house. But and most of which are female. So you know,
You're outnumbered.
I'm outnumbered at our home. But checking in this morning, we are still tracking some winter weather through the overnight hours. Much of the region experiencing a lull, especially in southeast Missouri and southern Illinois. We continue to track some freezing rain though across parts of western Kentucky and especially into northwest Tennessee, where even some thunder and some lightning is occurring. So these are thunderstorms producing some freezing rain through parts of Weakley County near the Martin, Tennessee area. And notice to the north what looks like lighter returns right now across western Kentucky. That is some freezing drizzle. Just a reminder, it does not take much ice to cause some big issues, especially when it comes to travel. Winter storm warning still in effect in the pink color here across much of southern Illinois, all of western Kentucky and southeast Missouri in that. And we expect the biggest impacts through the day today to generally be along and west of I-57, and we are expecting more chances for some freezing rain once again by mid to late morning and especially this afternoon in Illinois and Missouri. That will be the biggest impacts today. We are watching we are going to be tracking the freezing line making its way to the north and to the west, and that means that some areas will likely switch over to rain as temperatures warm back above freezing. This is in and out of here by tonight, starting to wrap up, and then Friday a pretty cold day. I do expect temperatures to be just above freezing, but some much warmer weather in store for us by the weekend, especially by the end of the weekend. Sunday afternoon, temperatures getting closer to average for this time of year. Live views from across the area, waiting on some of the cameras to load in there. 25 degrees though, so again, it is cold enough that things can freeze. And again, a lot of the side streets, those secondary roads are very, very slick and ice covered. Of course, the sleet, remember, it falls as a solid, so it's like a little ball bearings, little ice pellets when it hits the ground and on some of the roads. And then it freezes through the overnight hours. And that's why we especially have some very slick side roads, secondary streets, but also be prepared when you step out this morning. Your driveway, your sidewalk, the pavement, your deck can be extremely slick as well. So use plenty of caution if you are heading out this morning. 27 in Carbondale, 26 currently in Poplar Bluff. We've got 24 in St. Louis. Round number 1 making its way away from our region, but we are going to be turning our attention to parts of Oklahoma and even back into Kansas right now and back into Texas as well. We do expect more winter weather to develop from about Wichita to Oklahoma City and then track eastward later on this morning and through a good part of the afternoon. Notice at 7 a.m. still a lot of the freezing rain and freezing drizzle will be on the light side in some of our southern counties, but by about mid-morning we start to see a little more freezing rain across parts of southeast Missouri. Watch that freezing line as well, making its way into southeastern Illinois. Say from Shawneetown southward to Elizabethtown at this point. Expecting temperatures there to be just above freezing by about noon to 1 o'clock. Much of southeastern Illinois and western Kentucky, Harrisburg to say Eddyville, Metropolis above freezing. Carbondale to Pinckneyville, DuQuoin, and then westward into southeast Missouri, still running about 30 degrees. That means we'll be tracking some freezing rain in these areas, and that continues through a good part of the afternoon. A freezing line just does not make its way much farther to the west. So if we see any impacts today, it is likely in southwest Illinois and southeast Missouri. By tonight, starting to wrap up by tomorrow morning, back in the low to mid 20s, which means we could see some refreezing occur through the overnight hours tonight. But some light icing possible, mainly along and west of I-57. We're not talking about an ice storm. No, we're not talking about power outages, but this is enough. You could see a glaze of ice, some of the tree limbs, and of course, many of the elevated surfaces and even on some of those secondary and side streets as well. So make sure you've got that Storm Track 3 app. We are going to be keeping you up to date through the day today. We'll likely provide updates live right here on News 3 and of course on social media as well. 34 degrees tomorrow, 40 on Saturday, back near 50 though by the second half of the weekend, and next week looks much nicer. If you're longing for spring like I am, there's some of that spring-like weather on the way. Mid 50s by next weekend, close to 60 by next Thursday and Friday.
All right, thank you, Nick. Well, several area